What's up, everyone? This is this what it is? And I'm your host, Gunvid. So yeah. Hold up. I got a Dutch. I gotta crack the Dutch. What the fuck? Alright, yeah. Yeah, sex and stuff. I was thinking about it, right? I was like, I don't give a fuck. I could talk about whatever I want to talk about on my podcast, you know? I don't gotta be so like, fucking, like, explaining myself and being like, yeah, you know? Because some people think it's like immature to be like talking about sex, but some people like that, you know. Some people like talking about it because it's fun, and it's something like, just sex in general is fun, and it's, you know, it's, it's pleasure. So like, I don't know, some people like, some females don't like it when you talk dirty to them, but like a lot of them do. So it's like, what am I gonna not fucking, you know? Am I not gonna be myself because other people don't like the same things as me? No, I'm gonna be myself. I actually love talking about sex. Not really like on my podcast, but like, you know, with the female that I'm with or whatever. But like, I mean, like, the female that I'm with, or like fucking, I don't have to like be in a relationship with them to fuck. Like, some people are like fucking, you know, they're not like that. You guys are not like that. This fucking car alarm keeps going up. But yeah, it's like, you know, like some of my girlfriends, I was like, I mean, texting them all crazy, like, yeah, suck my dick and all this shit. And, you know, they'll be talking nasty back and all that. And I'm just like, yeah, you know. I'm just like, yeah, because fucking, what are we gonna just like be all boring and shit? Just talk about fucking, let's go shopping and shit. Shut up, bitch. I'm not trying to live a boring ass life, okay? You could do that. You could find a fucking could find someone that wants to live a boring ass life with you, but it's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be me. I'm gonna be a fucking, not a sex addict, but a fucking freak till I die. And even after, if I make it to heaven, I'm gonna be fucking having a lot of fun. So yeah, what do you want me to say? You want me to come over here and talk about sports? Fuck out of here. I'm gonna talk about sports, but when I want to. So yeah, there's that. So I'm gonna talk about sports now. All right, so I think like 2 episodes ago, I was like talking about how Patty Pimblett is gonna fight Michael Chandler, and it's mad funny because like I think I forgot to give my prediction for the fight, which is what I was really gonna do, and then I was like, I think I got off topic or whatever. But anyway, back to that fight. If I didn't give my prediction, hold on. Okay, but yeah, my prediction for the fight is that I think Patty Pimblett's gonna win, and I'm pretty much gonna give my prediction of exactly how I think this fight is gonna go, because I'm actually really interested in this fight, and I think it's gonna be a great fight. So, I think in the first round, Michael Chandler is gonna get a flash knockdown, and then I think Pimblett will recover fairly quickly, but I think that's gonna happen. And then I think as the fight goes on, I think Chandler is gonna get more and more tired, because I've kind of seen him like get tired in some of his fights, which obviously he's human, he's gonna get tired, but like there really is some fighters that don't get tired, like Merab Dvalishvili. Like you rarely ever see him get tired. If not, we probably never seen that guy get tired, because some people are just like that, I don't really get tired, but that's from the work you put in the gym, like you gotta really consistently train to not get tired. But anyway, so yeah, I think as the fight wears on, Chandler is gonna get tired, and then I think Pimblett's gonna have more, success with the striking and stuff towards the later part of the fight. And so I think Chandler's gonna win round 1, and then he's gonna win round 3, and then I think Patty Pimblett's gonna win 2, 4, and 5. So yeah, I think Patty Pimblett's gonna win by decision. And it's interesting because for Patty Pimblett, this is the fight to prove if he belongs in like the top 10, because if Pimblett loses, people are gonna be like, oh, you see, as soon like people that hate on him, they were like, oh, as soon as he faced like good competition, he lost and shit. But it's like, yo, I feel like the way he won against Tony Ferguson, I think that was very impressive. Even though Michael Chandler won against Ferguson in a more fucking in a better way. He knocked him out cold with the front kick. But either way, I think Paddy Pimblett kind of proved that he has great skills in that fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to look against Chandler, and that's going to be a great fight. Now, something that I think is going to be also good for Pimblett is that he's going to fight in Miami. So, you know, when he fights in the UK, he's from Liverpool. So, like, there's all this pressure and stuff on him, pause, to, like, you know, to win or whatever. But, like, you know, sometimes when you can get out of that zone of just being home and fucking having all those people annoying you and shit, sometimes when fighters get out of that, it can just allow them to focus just on the fight. So I think that's going to help him. And then Michael Chandler, I think he's been training in like Miami for years, right? This is more of like a home fight for him. So he's going to have to deal with all that fucking... Like, all the fighters talk about it. They got friends and family asking for tickets and shit. So, like, he's going to have to deal with that. And then... You know? I mean, it's not too much of a factor, but everything counts leading up to the fight. So, yeah. And I said it before, people are sleeping on this fight, but I'm not even trying to fucking, you know, like, how do I say? I'm not like talking shit. I really think this fight is going to have the potential to be the fight of the year. And I feel like we haven't had that many, like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there were some great fights that went under the radar, but like so far this year, I haven't seen a fight that was like, oh shit, yo, fight of the year. You know, maybe I missed it, but I haven't really seen that fight this year. But I think this is going to be one of those wars that people are going to be talking about for a while, because for Michael Chandler, at this point, if he loses to Pimblett, he may never get a title fight in the UFC or another one. I think he fought Charles Oliveira for the lightweight title, but even if he didn't, if he loses this fight, he may never fight again for the UFC belt. But so like, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of motivation for him to win. And then for Pimblett, if he loses this fight, this can like really slow down his hype train as far as like, you know, making a run for a title fight. Because after this fight for Paddy Pimblett, if he gets like a good win or even just a win, he could be one fight away from a title fight. But if he loses, you know, people are already doubting him and saying like, oh, like, he's hyped up So if he loses, that's gonna be like. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying he's gonna get cut, but it's just it can really slow down your progress as far as getting a title fight when you have that much hype. Like for some fighters, it might be better for them to not have as much hype. So if they lose, it's like, okay, you know? People aren't like, oh yeah, he was supposed to be invincible and now he's not. Now he's gonna really have to prove himself that he deserves a title fight. You know? But if you don't have that hype, people are like, all right, well, they don't care as much. But with that being said, I think Pimblett, being the younger fighter, I think he has better cardio. I think when the fight, when it's later in the fight, he's going to be doing better because he's just going to have more energy and yeah. I'm not gonna call Chandler old, but like I'd say he's towards the end of his career. And when fighters get like towards the end of their career, usually what they say is the power is the last thing to leave. So it's like, what is the first thing to leave? And I think it's either your cardio, like your stamina, or your quickness, like how fast you are or like how quick you are. So, I think really the first thing that you start to lose is your cardio, because like when you get older, it's not like yeah, you're definitely going to be slower, but you're not going to be like, it's not like you're like fucking like an old man, It's not like you're like a 70-year-old. You're still going to be able to like throw punches like fairly quick, especially when you have like, when you have all that experience and you're used to knowing that you have to be quick in order for you to land a punch against these high-level fighters, because they're gonna slip the punch or kick or whatever if you're not quick enough. So I feel like you're still gonna be quick, but as you get older, it's gonna be more difficult to consistently work out, and then your cardio is just gonna decrease more and more as you get older. So I think Chandler is gonna get real tired towards the end of the fight, because I saw an interview, like this also factors into it, like, I forgot exactly what Pimblett said, but it kind of got like Chandler fired up, like, I don't know. Pimblett said something, or like the interviewer said something, and like you could see like the look on Chandler's face, like he's just like ready to fucking go to try to knock this guy out. And the more you try to knock someone out, the more tired you get, because you're gonna start winding up on your punches. You're gonna start throwing all your power and energy into one punch and shit. And then when you miss, it makes you even more tired. So that it's, I think with everything being said, Paddy Pimblett has a better chance of winning this fight. So that's why I'm choosing him to win the fight. And like I said, I think there's potential here for a fight of the year type of fight. And they're going to be the co-main event. So that also factors into me saying that this has the potential to be a fight of the year type of fight, because when you have a three round fight, you have less time to have a good fight. So it's more difficult for you to have fight of the year with a three round fight. And then them being the co-main event, it's like, you know, I don't think the UFC tells people like, oh, you're the co-main event, you know, you got to really, you got to have a good fight, you know. The fucking fighters, they already know this, but what I'm saying is, when you have a co-main event, that puts the pressure on the fighters in the co-main event to be like, I'm going to steal the show. And like, just being the co-main event, it puts pressure on the fighters to put on a good fight and give the fans their money's worth. You see, a lot of these UFC fighters, if not all of them, you know, the ones that weren't the first fighters in the UFC, they started off as fans in the UFC. So they started off as fans who, maybe not always, but, you know, they started off as fans who paid their hard-earned money to watch these fights, you know? So they understand that, you know, like as a consumer, you don't want to pay to watch a whack fight. So, you know, they start off as fans, and then a lot of them end up fighting the people they were watching and shit. So they know that they have a responsibility, not just to win, but like to give the people their money's worth. And Paddy Pimblett and Michael Chandler are those two fighters that give the fans their money's worth when they fight. So, yeah, there's my prediction, and almost done rolling up this blunt. You know, I like to take my time. I'm not really like in a rush right now, so I'm just chilling, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this blunt. I haven't smoked a blunt in a while. But yeah, if you appreciated this episode, hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. This is this what it is? And I'm your host, Gunvid. Word up.